In the year of 1954, Marta Eduarda Agnelli was born to a Christian father and a Jewish mother in New York City. The only son, as well as the sole heir of Giovanni Agnelli, the world's famous industrial patriarch and billionaire of Fiat, who was once called the unofficial king of Italy. Marta Eduarda studied philosophy against the will of his father in the University of Princeton, graduating with a PhD. His father, who was known for doing business with notable names like Rothschild, Rockefeller, or Kissinger, noticed that Eduardo was swimming against the current, that is to say, being pious, virtuous, and humble while being born a noble. Whereas his father was a proverb for power, fame, and wealth beyond imagination. After World War II, he made Italy for what it is known today, namely, one of the leading industrial nations of the world. Fiat, Ferrari, Maserati, Italian private banks, news outlets, fashion brands, along the Juventus Football Club were all of his private fortune. Slowly walking towards death, he had to choose a successor, Eduardo. If it only hadn't been for his conversion to Islam and his recently made confession of being a follower of the Islamic Revolution. Now, Eduardo was threatened by his own family. Either he renounces his faith or else has to face repercussions, such as losing his inheritance right and eventually his life. But as steadfast as he was, he decided for his beliefs. Would you be ready, in his position, to trade in all the wealth of this world for your belief? In a world which is shaped by materialism, everything is being sacrificed and forgotten for every single dollar. Wealth, power, and fame are mostly the life goals of mankind today. However, all these things were a mere reality for Marta Eduarda from the very moment he saw the light of day. He tossed the wealth of his father aside, becoming a staunch defender of the deprived and oppressed ones. With all their capabilities, they set off defamatory attacks against him everywhere, telling in headline news that he's drug addicted, insane, and suicidal. They boycotted him, deprived him of his rightful inheritance, an empire with estimated $60 billion annual income per year, and last decided to take his life. After disapproving Eduardo, Giovanni nominated his successor, John Elkann, a Zionist Jew whose father Elaine married into the Agnelli family through the daughter of Giovanni. Clearly crossing a red line, Marta Eduarda stood up against his wrong nomination and announced that he is fully capable and ready to take over the position of his father after him. He told his good friend, the ambassador of Iran for Italy at that time, that he would be sooner or later be killed by Jewish Zionist entities, and warned him not to believe the cover-up they would create after his killing. Although making him subject to defamatory accusations, it had never stopped him from the first place to visit the Islamic Republic of Iran, given the honor of a private attendance with the great Imam Khomeini, and praying behind the current leader of the Islamic Revolution, and later on defending the leader of resistance in Lebanon. Including this, he traveled to Afghanistan and Kashmir. His plans about moving production of Fiat to Iran never came into fruition, as he realized he had no other option left but to emigrate to Iran. Just a few days before his flight, on the date of 15th November 2000, he was found dead under a bridge in Turin. After researching the mysterious circumstances of his death, his good friend and analyst, Dr. Marco Bavar, came to the conclusion that Marta Eduarda was a victim of premeditated murder. Finally, the legacy this great martyr left behind for us is undoubtedly his tireless presence on the battlefield for justice and resistance against oppression, and ultimately persuading us to achieve martyrdom.